As always with the outline questions, let's focus on the question itself, not the bullet points. The student wants to make and support a generalization about honeybees. Okay, generalization about honeybees, make and support. So maybe this is a case where there's like two goals and we need to make sure both are accomplished. So let's just take a look at the choices here. Choice A, cities tend to have a wider range of flowering vegetation than do rural areas, which are often dominated by monoculture crops. Well, what's wrong with this? Well, it's not about bees at all. So it's definitely wrong. B, in urban areas, over 60% of honeybees on average will survive a harsh winter, whereas in rural areas, only 40% will. Well, maybe that's a generalization about honeybees. Are they supporting it though? And is it really a generalization if you have two different things? Nothing is standing out to make this like click as being right, but also it's not like choice A where it's obviously wrong. So I don't know, I would just leave this choice. It could be right, it doesn't really do it for me though. C, the strength of honeybees' immune systems depends on what the bees eat, and a varied diet is more available to bees in an urban area than to those in a rural area. Okay, well that's definitely a generalization, right? That the strength of their immune system is dependent on what they eat, but then they're maybe supporting some other claim about where the bees are from. Again, I don't know. This feels better than B, but I don't know. It doesn't jump out as being obviously right. Honeybees are more likely to thrive in cities than in rural areas. That's a generalization. Because the varied diet available in urban areas strengthens the bees' immune systems. Yeah, so this is going to be it. I get why B and C are maybe not obviously wrong, but I think D definitely hits the points a lot better, right? The generalization just means we need to kind of make like a blanket statement. And so B is kind of starting off by separating the bees into two different categories. So that doesn't really count as a generalization. A generalization should just be like, here's a fact about bees. So C is saying that. D is saying that they both have a generalization. But then do they support that? Well, it's not really, what would be a good generalization in C to support it would be if they said like, bees in urban areas have stronger immune systems because diet affects it and they have a wider diet in urban areas, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to resurrect a choice that I should just let it die. But D definitely has the generalization, and then the because, that's such a great word for like, hey, I'm about to support a point, right? So that's a good thing. The varied diet available in urban areas strengthens the bee's immune system. So it's supporting this this generalization about like where bees are better off. D is definitely the answer, but I would say this is a hard question. For the last one, this is a pretty hard version of these outlines. But the good thing is this is about as hard as they get. So if this for you is still pretty easy, you still kind of feel confident about D, I think you're going to be in great shape. And so my last little point here I'll leave before we're done with this section is just like, these outline questions are usually some easy points. So these might be questions that you skip to when you start to notice that timer running out, especially because passage questions can take a long time. But then you've got grammar, transitions, and then outlines that are generally pretty easy, generally pretty quick, and it's a lot of points that you don't want to leave on the table. These are ones that you want to lock in. So if you notice that timer going, getting low, you can skip to different questions and just focus on these outline ones. These are some easy points to boost your score.